Welcome to Big D Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for my boy Neil Rule, out once again doing Oakland University basketball, but he'll be back on Monday. Terry Foster will be filling in tomorrow, but for today you get me, you get D-Mac, of course, four-time Stanley Cup champion, Darren McCarty, who was at the Red Wings game last night. And then, of course, we had the one, the only, the silky smooth Joik Bell, who let me drive his Tesla yesterday, and that was very nice of you.
What?
Yeah, he drove it.
How'd he do?
He didn't scratch it, so it was good. He didn't crash.
Did he fit in it? You fit in pretty good?
Yeah, honestly, it's a nice ride, man.
Yeah.
I see what the hype's about.
You see what the hype's about? Did you know what you were doing?
I had no clue. I'm like, how do I start this thing? What's going on? But you just press the brake and put it in gear, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I figured it out.
Was it difficult for you to lock the door when you got out? Did you know how to lock the door?
I didn't. I just walked away and it locked itself, right? I didn't have to do anything.
Right, okay, good job.
So yeah. So I had an adventurous day yesterday, so that was fun for me. But yeah, you went to the Red Wings game.
Oh, tell us about it, D-Mac.
Yeah, let's get right into some Red Wings talk, man. How was the game yesterday? I saw you.
He had his whole entourage there. I saw.
Yeah, I saw Fish was there. I saw
the Artemis.
You can't be asking this while the lineman's calling plays right here. We got Sawyer doing stuff, mixing it up, figuring it out. Now I need him to go back in there so I can show you exactly. Y'all set there, big man?
We'll figure it out.
All right, we'll figure it out. Are we good enough to show? Yeah, there it is. The band was back together. There's, in case you don't know, our buddy Art Smith, the Art of Combat, still rocking the Johnny Cash collection. Folsom Prison, I think, on the left. There's Tammy. There's Fish, your newest. Hey, Fish, tell everybody what you're on Twitter now, and your Twitter account is what?
Fish Kiwi.
Fish Kiwi on Twitter. So, Fish, we got him in there. Throw that one up again, Sawyer. The picture, so I can continue to go through it. So, Fish Kiwi, there's Kennedy Broadwell was looking very, very good in her Darren McCarty brand shirt. And then the one and only Jenna Newman, one of the fam, too. So that, having everybody in the building last night, right? How could it go wrong? And and here's the thing. What's happening with this Red Wing team, and we're going to, just so you know, we're going to double dose hockey today because coming up in 12:30, the lovely and talented Daniella Bruce, who does the Game Day Live with me and is the digital reporter, all things Red Wings, all things Tigers. She's going to join us. We're going to talk about what she's seen in the first bit of this season. But last night, what this Red Wing team is doing is they're doing things differently than in the past. What do I mean? They're winning certain hockey games, but it's how they're doing it. This game, first period, sort of lethargic after coming off of the win in Boston, but they got it going, got on the board. Good to see Robbie Fabry, a power play goal. It's always good. But they got behind, right? And they got behind 2-1 late in the second period, and Vladimir Nestikov right here was able to, as you could see watching at home, you could see tie it up. Going into the third period, tied at 2 and being down 2-1, it is different, especially when you're younger. So the resilience, they got on the board. Lucas Raymond, again, the NHL's Rookie of the Month. So that means that the Detroit Red Wings host back-to-back Rookies of the Month, and Mo Sider and Lucas Raymond. There it is, putting it on the board. But the resilience of the Kraken tied it up and went into overtime and into a shootout. And here's the thing, Stick. Adam Ernie gets a clincher in the shootout. These guys are winning games. They're now 5-3-2 or something in overtime games and stuff like this. In the past, this has hurt them. So that's extra points. That's five extra points from wins in overtime or shootout. That helps this team. Now, I've been talking about ebbs and flows throughout the season, but they're getting it done. That was Thomas Grace's 150th win last night, and you look at the way we mentioned it, Sawyer and I broke down the goaltending. Doesn't matter if it's Nedeljkovic in net or it's Grice in net. He was solid last night, too. Nick Leddy played his 800th game. This team is good, and all this, too, did I mention before the game, Tyler Bertuzzi COVID protocol will be missed for 10 days. So Kraskula got in the lineup. My boy Giovanni Smith moved up to the second line. These guys rolled, and they're still not playing perfect hockey, but they're exciting, and I think that is the big thing. So last night it was an exciting game, and we'll talk more to Daniella Bruce in 12:30 hour.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the Red Wings so far this year is they've been just an exciting team to watch. They're not winning a ton, but they're winning enough to keep, I think, even like fringe fans interested. Because as you look around the layout of Detroit sports right now, everybody is kind of in the same area. They're young, they're growing, and we're looking forward to the next evolution of all of these teams. But I think the Red Wings are probably furthest along out of everybody right now. So it's nice to see that excitement, especially at LCA for a home game, and fans getting involved.
Well, it's been that way, and it's been that way this year from the opening game. I think the electricity starting out with the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, even though we lost 7-6 in overtime. But every game, it's been exciting. Back to if you were in the building for the Florida game when I think there was 84 block shots in one shift, but the fans in this time, because they're ready. They've been ready because of what we've always said, right? Red Wing fans, knowledgeable but fickle, because they understand the game, and it's about the effort on the ice. And now, to your point, Stick, we want to fast track and get to be about the wins and losses, but it's about the consistency and the fact that you can pick a bunch of different guys that you can watch and you can cheer for and get behind. And I'll tell you this, I know that I said 4 or 5 years, I think, is the promised land. If you keep hitting on your 19 and 20-year-olds, it's going to be sooner. It's inevitable. So I like what they've done. I'd like to see them play. You hear us say a 60-minute game. They still aren't doing that, but they're finding ways to win. And to me, that's doing things a lot different than they have in the years past.
Yeah, and you bring up hitting on those picks, and you look at the Calder Trophy chase that's going on right now, and the Red Wings are just running away with it. Not just with one guy. Not just with one guy. You got Lucas Raymond, and you got Seider right there. I mean, 77 points, 71 points, and look at the nearest person to them. It's almost half.
Yeah, projected for the season points, and I think that even after last night, because Mo Seider picked up a couple of assists, it could be even more. But the bottom line, when you see it on there, that the projected points of Lucas Raymond is 77, which is almost a point a game. Morris Seider, as a rookie defenseman, is 70 points. That's crazy. But the other two guys on the list were other guys that are rookies in this league. 35 is their top. So this means we got two guys that are doubles. So times 2 equals 4. Means that we're 4 times better. Is that good math? 4 times better rookies, whatever. But again,
yeah, it works for me.
But again, and I was reading an article earlier today, as you remember back, because we always talk about back. We talked about it yesterday about joint, knowing the temperature was different with the Michigan football team this year. He said it from day one. We were worried about Lucas Raymond. Is he going to be able to cut the lineup? More excited. Are they being able to make the lineup? Are they going to be up and down? Man, they in my opinion, and watching them play, it's how smart they are, and they're playing like 10-year veterans.
It's exciting to see, and it's got to put the rest of the league on notice that, hey, man, like the Red Wings will be here soon. If not, they're already here and just not playing to their full potential yet.
My question, do you think they'll make the playoffs this year if they continue?
Right now, no. But if they continue, they won 4 straight. So if they continue on this pace, yes. But it's the ebb and flow, and it's the inconsistency. But they're doing things like, I guess you asked me like after last night being there watching. I think I got to change and say yes. Right? It's weird, but it's going to be like that the whole year, and it's going to be exciting like that too. So. Yeah, like you mentioned, Stick, and if you look around, like we said, you look at all the different teams, we're moving. You look at the Tigers, you look at, Cade Cunningham, and it's not about wins and losses downtown. Right. It's about that progress, and you see it. And here's the bottom line. Before you get to be that team that beats everybody, you got to be that team that nobody wants to play. And that's what these guys are getting into.
I love that.
That's where they're getting into is, oh, man, Detroit's coming to town, or, oh, we got to go into Detroit. That's the progress you want.
Correct me and educate me, honestly, D-Mac. Has there ever been 2 rookies to come in and impact a team like this to where they're dominating the Calder Trophy tracker? I can't, off the top of my head, I can't remember.
I'm just going to, I don't think so. I'm thinking of guys that came in, and the first thing that jumps in my mind are the Sedin twins.
Okay.
In Vancouver, and I'd have to go back and look. But no, I think that if there was, they would have come in with higher expectations, what Sider and the high end of Sider and Raymond would be this year. I think what you're seeing is these two in particular playing to what their potential might have been in a few years. You know, if you're expecting this out of them in a few years, that's the development. But I'm telling you, that year in Sweden last year for both of them during that COVID is the best thing that's happened to this organization because, man, were they ready to go. And they're going to continue to play. There's no slowing down. Right?
Right. It seems to be the Red Wings' MO. You know, you have guys that kill it over in Europe, and when we bring them over here, we can start to build our squad. I mean, that's how the Russian Five came to be. That's how, you know, your teams came to be back in the day. Like, hey, go over there, get your experience, and dominate, then come over here, and let's see if that game translates to the NHL.
And the big difference is, Stick, is now they're doing it at such a younger age. Okay. And they're ready to play. He was ready to play at 19 years old.
That's right. They were bringing over grown-ass men for the...
Late. It just takes earlier. So now it's... And the whole thing with that, you look at where the Sweden and the Russian is, where you get the Holmstrom, Zetterberg's late, the Datsuk's late. Well, you look at what Stevie's done, setting the trend. Germany's the new Sweden. You know, where else it is. I know I talked to Drapes, and Drapes is traveling all over Europe trying to find the next great centerman. So watching all the other guys. So it's just not when, it's when. But if you start hitting on your younger guys earlier and they play like these two have, it'll be sooner.
Well, lots of people are watching the Red Wings. People are getting excited for the season. I know you guys were at the game last night, so continue to go support them. Go down to LCA, have a good time. Lots of people watching the Red Wings, and lots of people watched another game over this past weekend, and we're going to talk about that because I'm pretty sure you watched it too. This is Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network, and we got to tell you about our friends at MyBookie. Not only are they the studio sponsor, everything behind me right now screaming MyBookie, you should be screaming it too because you could be making some money off the Red Wings in this 4-game winning streak. All you got to do is go to mybookie.com to start your account, and when you do it, make sure you enter promo code Woodward to get some great deals and offers that only MyBookie is providing. So once again, go to mybookie.com, promo code Woodward, and get to it today.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
The pros know. Go! Listen Monday through Friday for Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network with Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty, former Lion Joik Bell, and the silky voice of Neil Rule.
Welcome back. It is Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. And, of course, you can hear us on The Roar on 99.1 and 93.5 right here in Detroit and 94.7 HD2. So thank you guys for listening. And make sure you download our app, which is available in Apple or Google Play stores for you. And it's absolutely free. So, yeah, let's just go around the room and do a check real quick. D-Mac, did you watch the Michigan-Ohio State game?
Check, yes.
Fish, did you watch the Michigan-Ohio State game?
Yes.
Joik, did you watch the Michigan-Ohio State game?
Yep, I caught it.
And Sawyer, did you watch the Michigan-Ohio State game?
Of course I did.
Stick,
yes,
did you?
sir.
I watched the Michigan-Ohio State game, and none of this surprises me because the numbers came out yesterday. Michigan-Ohio State, the most watched college football game ever for Fox, with over 15 million viewers. Almost 16
Is that the most
million.
ever, like, period?
No.
It's not the most ever, period, and I was doing research trying to find that, and all I kept seeing when I searched most viewed college football game, this just kept popping up. But it's for Fox, it's the most ever by far, but not for every station that ever do one.
Yeah, it's got to be a national championship game.
Correct. So, yeah. But
I don't know, man. That was a big game.
It was.
So when people talk about regular season, there has not been a game more viewed than that Ohio State Michigan game is what you're saying.
Definitely on Fox. I know that for 100% fact.
All right, on Fox.
Yep.
And so when I go around the country and I argue with all these college fans about what's the biggest, you go to Georgia. Oh, the biggest rivalry here is, I go to Alabama and Auburn. All right? That's the biggest, down there. That's the biggest, Army, Navy. Those are, Army, Navy. I think that might be the longest rivalry.
Notre Dame, USC is a good rivalry too.
Yeah, Michigan and Notre Dame is a good rivalry.
Yep.
And so, but these numbers is just proving like no rivalry is bigger than the Michigan-Ohio State rivalry game. No other game is bigger. And what made this game a rivalry game, because a lot of people knew that this could be a year that Michigan could beat Ohio State. And so people viewed in because they wanted to see it. They want to see, and this goes to Neil. Neil said it all year, we going to see. You got to show me.
Right.
You got to show me, And so people tune in because they want to see. They got a good show. They got a good show now.
What impresses me even more about this is a lot of people are complaining because they were the noon game that you don't get that West Coast audience, because, it's on at 9 a.m. on the West Coast. We're starting at noon, but it doesn't matter. 16 million people speaks for itself. You could have played this game at midnight and people be watching.
That's perfect. People are like, nobody's sleeping. Like, who's sleeping at noon on Saturday?
Right.
Like,
and then look, it not only
depends what kind of Friday.
Yeah, not only was the game viewed more than anything else Fox has ever done. Look at the College Game Day, 2.3 million viewers, the most watched show since Rivalry Week 2018, and the third most watched game day since 2013. So even like the pregame was getting love, and we saw it here at Woodward Sports. We were at the Brown Jug, and we had 54,000 people watching our broadcast. It was insane. It was our biggest live broadcast to date. And I wanted to take credit for it, but now it's clearly has nothing to do with me. It's all Michigan, Ohio State, baby.
Let me ask you this, Dick, because I wanted to ask you and I forgot to ask you, so I might as well ask you now. How was the vibe before the game? Like, because you've been to a lot of sporting events and whatever, did it the energy feel like it was going to be a win? Like, or was it more nervous or what? Because you've been to so many different simulcasts or broadcasts like that you can feel that energy. I'm just so glad, honestly, that you got to experience that, because then all those crappy Sundays, not the pizza or the tater tots or anything that has to do with the brass rail. Don't get me wrong. Go down there and eat the food. It's phenomenal. Yeah. It's the fact you got to cover the Lions after the 2-minute warning. But the fact you got to experience that. But could you tell it was different? Because the worst of the worst, if anybody does.
Yeah, it's funny because, I went back and I watched the broadcast just to, make sure I can improve on certain things and stuff like that. And if you watch, the last 2 minutes of the broadcast, it's just me and Joey sitting there. And Joey was out on the streets doing his Joey thing.
Joey's the best at doing Joey things.
Yep.
It is.
And my comment to him was, today feels good. It just felt good. There wasn't pressure. It just felt like everybody was in a good mood. It just felt right. It felt like something good was about to happen.
See, I bring that up because I wonder if it had the same feel. So I mentioned, but when we won in '97, after Game 3, I think we shut out Philly 6-0 at home or whatever. We beat them pretty handily to go up 3-0, and we're a game away from winning. I remember waking up the morning of Game 4 and just had this feeling that there is no way that I'm not raising this cup tonight. Like all of us during pregame, it was just quiet confidence, not cocky or anything. Now, the game played out the way it is, and I'm never going to go change the way the game played out because I got the clincher. But the fact is that to have that confidence, I think that's the attitude, because and hear me out, because that was the energy displayed throughout everybody Michigan fan that wanted it as bad as them, and the energy in the field. We see all the pictures of everybody rushing the crowd, but that energy helps that fandom. So hopefully through the TV, if you're watching Michigan try to pull out the Big Ten and move further, you can give them that energy, because there's something to it where we all get on that energy plane, and it's good to know that you experienced that. But going into it, you had a good feeling. So you could enjoy the game. Yeah. Like you enjoyed the game, because I say to people, because when you're all nervous and worried, and even if it works out, man, as a fan, you got anxiety, sweat, like this, and you didn't really enjoy the game. You got to watch it again. And even, I don't know if you guys are the same, but I can watch games over again, and I know how they end up. Right. I know we win, but I still go through it and I get the same feelings. You guys the same way?
This Michigan-Ohio State game was really, honestly, the first time in a long time that I was, wanting Michigan to win so badly that I was feeling it. I had the sweaty palms. Like, I wanted them to win because I've been a Harbaugh guy the whole time he's been here. Like, there were just so many things that I wanted to be able to point to people and be like, now shut up. Now just shut up about it. Like, he's good. It's over. I don't want to hear Harbaugh's got to leave. I don't want to hear any more about Ohio. Like, it was just a release for me. And I'm not even a Michigan guy.
You're finally right. You're finally right.
I was rooting for myself, honestly.
You root for yourself. Speaking of room for yourself, right? Speaking of room for yourself, do you still have those high expectations of Jared Goff that you did before he got here?
No. No.
This guy's been to the Super Bowl. He's have multiple playoff wins. He's a young quarterback. Yep. We can build a team around him.
Which one of those things was wrong, though? All those things were correct coming in, right?
Because we're living in the past.
No. I'm just saying, like, what was wrong with it? You got to remember, I'm a lifetime Lions fan. I've never had a quarterback play for us that's been to a Super Bowl.
What was my argument?
Your argument was he sucked.
I didn't say that's not what I. That's not what I said. I said
he's limited.
Yeah, basically, I felt he was a little soft. That's what I felt. You said, well, he played with a broken finger,
yep.
And help his team win. I said, okay, a broken finger. Okay, cool. All right, so that was the issue with me.
Hey, you want to see broken fingers?
Right, and that was the issue with me with him coming here. At the end of the day, I always understood. I understood the assignment. I don't know if you did. He was coming here for we can get that draft capital, free up some contract space in the next few years, and then start rebuilding the team. But, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Ohio State.
I'll fully admit I was wrong on it, man. Like, I was wrong, but that's part of being an optimist.
So are you going to can we on air? Because, right, I never heard this on air from you. Can you apologize to me and Sean Belizean? Can you apologize to us? Because we told you from the beginning it wasn't going to work out.
I am not going to apologize, but I can say I was wrong. Like, what would I apologize for?
Because you argue with Sean Belizean up and down.
But I argued facts that were true in the moment.
But
that I've learned more, because this is what intelligent people do. They take the facts that are presented for them, and then they can readjust their opinion.
You spoke about the past. Everything is the past.
That's all you had to go on.
Right. No, because you're looking at one thing.
But
we told you. If that's all we got to go on.
No, I got this.
If that's all we have to go on, then why
than you did.
will we say that? Then why would me and Sean Belizean go in and say he's a placeholder, he's not going to be here 2 years, and that he's done? We said that, even with his past. We told you. Told you.
Sick, it's okay, man. I missed it too because nobody's bringing it up, and I'm glad. And I will beat the crap out of all of you. Ready to bring it up, but I said that Jared Goff had the chance to have the impact that Brendan Shanahan did coming here. Guess what? Wrong. Hey, Stick, I'm with you, bro.
Hey, that's all right.
Can't have them all, but the good thing is, here's the good thing. Here's the good thing. At least we know. It's not like, is it or isn't it? Iffy. We know he's not the guy. So we can move on.
Yeah.
So I'll apologize to Sean. You knew better, bro.
I'll apologize for arguing, but I won't apologize for my reasoning.
No. We're not talking about that. Just apologize for being wrong to Sean because you argue with Sean.
I did argue with Sean. Me and Sean screamed at each other.
I'll let Sean know Friday night.
So apologize to Sean.
I'll let Sean know Friday night that you apologize. Your take was wrong.
All right, put the camera on me real quick, Sawyer.
Yeah.
Sean Belizean, you sex appeal as a man. I am so sorry that I ever questioned your authority on Jared Goff, and I should have known that when Joik Bell had your back that I was stupid and wrong, that he was never going to be the future of the Lions. And I sit here today on this Woodward Sports pulpit letting you know that I am stupid for thinking Goff could ever get us to where we need to go.
And you know what, Sean? Stick is right, because we should have known, because you know Jared Goff. Because guys with little hands know guys with little hands.
They smell like cabbage.
That's it. There you go.
But, Joik, honestly, like, why didn't you think Goff could be the guy? I know we're getting off topic about the Michigan thing here, but
we'll go back to it. It's just what I've seen him play. All right, I've seen him play. I don't know him off the field. I don't know him aside from that. I don't know how he is in the locker room. Just watching him play and watching the way that he handle or conduct himself or his poise throughout the game, I just didn't see that it factor here. I didn't see anything that wowed me. All right, I didn't see arm talent. I didn't see any type of ability with his feet. I didn't.
Go Gorilla.
I didn't see.
So do you think we have the same Jared Goff here that was in LA 2 or 3 years ago that took him to the Super Bowl, or do you think that was just kind of an anomaly and he fell off?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but he hasn't been that Jared Goff since that year, even when he stayed with LA, right? And so they got rid of him for a reason, right? They said, you know what, we're going to take this first rounder, and we just paid him.
Right.
They just paid him. They had just paid that man all that money and said,
they paid that man this
get him out of
money.
here. They did that for a reason, right? And they were willing to give up 2 first-round draft picks for him. It worked out for him, right? We got Matthew. They took Matthew Stafford. We got 2 first-round draft picks. And hey, you take Jared. Take Jared too.
And how good does that pick look? Right, look, it's getting better and better and looking better and better. You're talking about God. Like at the end of the day, where we are saying we don't have our quarterback, but with what's going on in LA,
did we ever have our quarterback?
No. But what I'm saying is that trade looks better because that pick moves into like a top 20 pick or even low 20s. Man, that gives you so much more. It's like Neil says, draft capital and salary cap.
They have to, LA. They have to continue doing what they did last month.
The Lions have a better November record than the Rams right now. We're 0-2-1. They're 0-3.
They're 0-3, exactly, absolutely. So they need to keep that going in December, and then hopefully we might get down to the top 15. Have 2 picks in the top 15. What?
God, that would be so amazing, man. That would be so amazing. And I know people have already been talking about trading back and getting more equity in that first round, so we potentially have 3 first-round picks. But that's putting the cart before the horse. We're not there yet. We still got time left in this season, but I like the way the Rams are trending. Like, they're trending like the Lakers in 2004. You put a bunch of all-stars together, you put them on the field, and eventually they're just going to tear each other apart. Like, that's what I feel is happening with the Rams right now.
Yeah, they're in flux, man. It's from difference from Super Bowl to there's something wrong there.
You know what it is though? It's also learning and getting that timing down on the offensive side when you lose one of your star receivers, and your passing game is kind of what's been holding you guys afloat throughout the year. Which the run game isn't terrible, but when you lose one of your guys, now you got to go out there and now you got to work on timing with OBJ, and OBJ is going to be fine. Right, he's going to be fine. They're going to figure it out. It's just going to take some time. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, listen, Rams, lose all day, please. I want that better draft pick. And you know what? If you want to work on your arm and you want to work on your accuracy, there's a place that you can go and do that at? If you're throwing football?
Probably Fowling.
Fowling, baby! And we had our company outing there a couple days ago, and man, what a time it was. D-Mac was there. You were throwing some footballs. Joik was there. Joik showed up late, tried to put himself in the finals of our tournament, and we had to put a kibosh on that. But Sawyer was there with his rocket arm, and if you're looking for something to do over the holiday season, take your friends Fowling, especially in Hamtramck at the Fowling Warehouse. Not only did they invent the game, they perfected the game, and Chris Hutt will walk you through all the rules, the official rules, and you can bring your own food. That's one thing I like about this venue. You can bring your own food, park at a table, and just enjoy it with your friends. They have like hundreds of beers on tap and beers there. It's just an amazing place to be, and it's so Detroit. It's such a Detroit experience. It's awesome. So if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend or this weekday, make sure you head to Fowling Warehouse in Hamtramck. It's such a good time. These guys will attest to it, and I think we all got stories now forever from our experience at Fowling. So make sure you check them out. Fowling Warehouse in Hamtramck.
Big D. Big D.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to Big D Energy. My name is Stick, filling in for the one, the only Neil Rule. We have D-Mac up here, along with Joik Bell, Fish, and Sawyer, making sure we sound good and look good. So we kind of got off track talking about the Lions, and we'll get back into the Lions. But Michigan is playing Iowa this weekend for the Big Ten Championship Saturday in Indy, and I know about 4,000 people that are heading down there. I feel like everybody I know is going to Indy to go to this.
Did they get a hotel room?
No, I got friends that are like planning on camping.
Did you hear that?
Camping.
Oh my god!
Hey, they better go get an Airbnb. Hey, how about that?
Yeah.
Go do some Airbnb.
Whatever you can get. I would love to go to this game. I can't even imagine. Some of my friends are such diehard Michigan fans. They've been like craving this moment.
You're not going?
No, I'm not going.
Why not?
I can't afford to go, Joik. I got stuff to do on Sunday. I got stuff to do Friday night. I can't make it down there.
Just fly down for the game and fly right back.
I'll go with you.
Woody's got plans.
Yeah, then I got to take my dog. Like, there's lots of things going on. But I'm excited for this game. I know, like I said, a lot of my friends who went to Michigan are like salivating over this game. This is the moment they've been waiting for.
Are any of them nervous?
Yes.
Because I find that about 40%, not quite half, maybe 30%, maybe a third. Like some of them, and I don't have that nervous feeling. Right, because of what Joik's been telling me about, this isn't just happened overnight. They've been building this all year. So I think the attitude and the culture is that they know what they built for. You're right there. The precipice, it's like I say, is manifest your reality, wish for what you want, but then when it's there, you got to grab it with all your might. That's what they got to do, and I think we'll really find out by which team we see are they for real? And I think we're going to see the real one because I believe my man Joink, what he said.
Hey, this is what it is. We talked about this, and I kind of referenced it before about when you get to a certain point in your career, rather, or a certain point in the season, what's your motivation to continue to win? All right, and people will say, well, to be the best. Okay, cool. That's also the person across from me. That's what they want. They want to be the best as well. So what's that extra kicker for you, right? I think the way that the players have gravitated towards their head coach over this past year is different from prior years, right? From the conversation that I've had with the players. Now, so I think that edge of wanting to win, not only just to win the game and be the best, but also for their coach to be successful and also for them to remain there, I think that's giving them that extra edge to go out there and go above beyond and play above their means and go out there. And in the fourth quarter of the Ohio State game in Michigan, we're Michigan fans, but in the back of our heads, we're like, please, please, please do not mess this up.
Right.
Do not lose momentum. Go down there and score. We're just waiting for them to make a mistake in the fourth quarter, which they did not. They put the foot on the gas and they kept going. They kept what we like to say, they kept their foot on their throats.
You know what it was? That's one of the first times, and I saw it in the Penn State game when they came back, but they weren't afraid. They were not afraid. They took it they went on offense, and they said, you know what, we control our own destiny. No, we're not going to sit back. And I know that you have to get to that point where you believe in yourself, and the only reason that you can do that is, right, it ain't about you. It's when you can look your right, look to your left, and we saw it, especially with that offensive line, right? And that permeates down because it's attitude, and that's exactly what it is. So maybe it's that attitude that sort of changed, and everything all goes back to what Joik said about before the season started about a new, because I'm like, I don't hear stuff. I don't hear we're better than most this, and then Joik says, no, the young kids say that Harbs is involved and he cares about them. And these aren't the guys. These are fifth stringers. These are guys that aren't even redshirt. These are guys that you're not supposed to, or put it this way, Brian Kelly doesn't acknowledge him. That's the attitude that's different. So
accountability.
The moment that stood out to me the most in that Michigan-Ohio State game wasn't a touchdown. It wasn't a scoring play. It wasn't even a defensive play. It was when the Ohio State player ripped the helmet off the Michigan kid and threw it right in the end zone, and the two Michigan linemen got in his face, didn't push him, didn't hit him, just intimidated him. The two of them just walked him off the field together. And to me, it showed not only to your point, I got your back, you're my teammate, we're here for you, but it also showed that they're smart.
Yes.
They're not going to commit the penalty to get offsetting and ruin what the dumbass from Ohio State did by ripping his helmet off, and that play ended up half the distance to the goal, and they scored the very next play. If that's an offsetting penalty, maybe that series of events doesn't happen, but that visual of those two big linemen just walking towards the guy and pushing him off the field without touching him, I thought was the best display of teamwork and intelligence I've seen in a long time.
That screamed maturity.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And maturity.
Poise.
And that's poise, maturity, whatever else. And I think to be fair enough, Call, you see
that's
it.
Where they lost.
We hadn't seen that before out of a Harbaugh team.
Right. I haven't seen that out of many college teams. Usually when the linemen get involved, they're grabbing the face mask, they're doing dumb things. But those two, I literally thought they were club bouncers. They just bossed that dude out of bounds, and that was it.
You know what, though? And then you let's talk about it, man. Haskins has been performing well. Even that Penn State game, he had over 150 yards rushing. And then he comes back against Ohio State, and he has that type of performance. If we talked about if he would have been the guy for the beginning of the season, he would have been in that talk for the Heisman race. But just his numbers aren't there. But that doesn't mean he didn't have the ability to be a top 3 finalist for it. So I like him a lot. It's unfortunate that he won't, have the opportunity to go, but it's wide open. I don't know a time where it's been this wide open. Like, I don't know. Hutchinson could be up for it. We don't know. It's a lot of guys that could be up for it.
Yeah, no one's taken that ball and, like, for lack of a better term, just run with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there really is a big question mark of who's going to be the Heisman Trophy winner this year.
I'm glad I don't have a vote.
Who would you vote for if you have one?
I'm a bias though.
That's fine. I'm biased as hell too. Everybody knows that. Hutchinson.
But you know what? And that's only because, that's only because he has the most sacks.
Well, here's the whole thing, right? Is that he's got an opportunity to put the double exclamation mark with the performance this weekend in the championship game, right? 2 back-to-back performances, couple sacks, a lot of pressures, the same intensity, him and Ajaba. He has that opportunity because it's fresh in your mind. Right? So and when the voters, and I think it's to the point, Stick, of this year, which it permeates over into the draft, permeates over into no real number 1 quarterback, permeates over to what Joyce, he says he's biased or whatever. When I asked him yesterday, he said he'd have to look at and break it down and go deep in the books. We haven't had to do that before. It's usually A, B, or C, right?
You can you can put David Ajabo up there. It's 2, but
it's tough. There's no clear front.
Right, it's no clear. He's 1 sack away from Hutchinson, and before that game, I think he was leading it.
Neil brought up a great point about Bryce Young, what he's done even with Alabama, bringing him back in the last games. Playing in Auburn, that's like playing at Michigan State sort of game, and where they hate each other. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
With those type of games, anything can happen. For the people who say, "Oh, you guys just won. You guys haven't done this forever." So what?
Right.
We won. We got this one, and we still lead the series.
And you're only as good as your last game, right?
You're only as good as your last game.
Because if you were better, you would have done better. And Michigan was better in their last game, and going in minus 11 against Iowa in the Big Ten championship. I don't see a Michigan team taking these guys lightly, but I can see that maybe creeping in, right? Looking ahead to the college football playoffs.
So we come back here Monday. And Michigan is victorious, right? And say you're on next week, and I want to ask you this now because you might not be here next week. My question to you is, if Michigan wins this game, they win the Big Ten, they come back, they bring that trophy home. My question to you: does Harbaugh re-sign next year for 100+?
Oh yeah. If he restructured down when they were losing, you better restructure up when you're winning.
And plus, what Michigan State down the road did for Mel Tucker, you would obviously the Michigan way is going to pay him more.
Well, you got Franklin cashing in, you got Kelly cashing in. Because honestly, if Michigan gets by this week and they get into the college football playoffs, we're looking at probably a number 2 seed, and I'm hoping maybe Cincinnati lands at number 3. So honestly, Michigan has a shot to win the entire thing this year.
They do. We mentioned that yesterday or whatever when it was 1,000, Michigan to win 1,001. That's a phenomenal bet, and that's the beauty. That's the whole thing is now we get to go sort of play the game, and then on Monday So here's the thing: this Iowa team, right? The object is if Michigan can put 30 or 42 up against Ohio State, they should be able to put at least 30 up. I don't think Iowa can put more than 20 up, but I don't think they're going to take it for granted. I don't think there's no down. And this is if you're going to be correct about them having that legitimate shot of winning the championship, you will see that in their game. It's sort of along the lines of things you didn't see with the Red Wings in the past that they're doing and finishing it off. Not like they're doing it and then they're done with it and then they still lose. No, that they're finishing off. Michigan can be the same way. That's what we're looking for. That's the exciting part.
All right, so we compared it to Mel Tucker, but we're the big house, and so usually here we want to do everything bigger than everyone else. We talk about the stadium. We have the biggest. We call it the big house because it's the biggest stadium in the U.S. as far as athletic. It's bigger than every NFL field. It's bigger than every college field. It's bigger. It's the big house.
Yeah, second in the world, I think, stadium-wise.
Hey,
say it again.
Second in the world.
Second in the world. So my question to you is: do you think with Lincoln Riley having that $115 million deal, do you think we surpass him and get all those incentives with along with that $115 million, like the PJ, unlimited PJ for his friends and family? You think he get that same?
Not
thing?
as much. Not as lucrative.
I don't know, man. If I'm a booster and I'm helping supplement these costs, kind of like what happened at Michigan State, like it's not.
Who wants Harbaugh?
Who wants him?
Yeah,
I would say a lot of people would want him, right?
You would?
Yeah, I want Harbaugh.
Okay. No, I understand. Other than Michigan, I'm just saying. The Lincoln Riley thing is that was, I don't know.
That was USC. He's from USC. Harbaugh's from Michigan.
I understand.
What do you do?
I think he's going to get paid here.
Oh yeah,
but he's not getting competition to other. Or is he? Would he go somewhere else? Would he hold out on it?
The competition is this. The competition isn't him leaving. The competition is that's the market, and even if that's not the market, right? He just won it, right? He's gonna say he wins the Big Ten, then he goes off and he wins the national championship game. He has to get paid more than Lincoln Riley. He has to.
Oh yeah,
he wins this Big Ten championship, he's going to get paid.
You can't cut his salary,
but you got to cut that. But you can't cut that check.
Cut him that check, and you can use. Listen, Michigan, you need to use DMAX Coast Portland machete. Get your own. CoastPortland.com. Use WSN20 for 20% off. Yes, we can get you the rebate so you can get Harbaugh his money. Coast Portland's been around since 1919, helping you do-it-yourselfers, your first responders and everything. The weather's changing. Don't be left in the cold. Get some lights for the outdoors. It gets dark early. But remember, go to CoastPortland.com, WSN20. Tell them Big D Energy, Stick, Joik Bell, D-Mac. We'll be right back. Woodward Sports Network.
Let's go.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. Did you know mortgage rates are still at generational lows? If you haven't refinanced your home loan yet, there's still time. Now is your second chance to refinance. You could lower your monthly payment, eliminate credit card debt, or even take cash out by using your home's equity. Call Hall Financial now to get started with your free 5-minute mortgage review. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. It is Big D Energy live on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for watching on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all over the place. And for everybody who's downloaded our app, just search Woodward Sports in the Apple or Google Play Store. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. Darren McCarty's here, Joik Bell, Fish, and Sawyer. Lions Let's get into some Lions talk. And Joik, obviously, we want to kick it off with you. Lions 0-10-1, taking on the 5-6 Vikings this Sunday. -7 the Vikings are, which actually has dropped a little. At first, they were -7.5, but still, that's a crazy spread for an away team with only 5 wins to take on the Lions. What do the Lions have to do to get a W this weekend?
Stop the run game. And
it helps that Cook's out.
Yeah, so stop the run game. That's going to be the biggest thing for them to do, and make Kirk Cousins use his arm, right? Make him use his arm. He's going to make mistakes, and then capitalize on those mistakes. Now, the thing that the Lions have to do, aside from stop the run game, is the coaches have these guys in position to make turnovers. Like, they're right there. You can make the interception. The ball is hitting both of your hands. The football is hitting both of your hands. Bring the ball in. Capitalize. Ice the game. And these are the things we're going to have to capitalize on. And there's multiple opportunities, and there's been multiple times throughout this year where we have the opportunity to make that definitive play in the game,
right?
And we don't make it. We don't make it. And these are things that I see that, it's redundant. It happens game after game after game after game, and then when we lose by 1 or 2 points, we could have won that game by double digits if we just capitalized on the turnovers and on their mistakes. And we're not getting those turnovers, and we're not taking advantage of those mistakes. And the thing with the Vikings coming in, we don't know which team we're going to get. Are we going to get the Vikings when they played against the Packers? Are we going to get the Vikings when they played against the Ravens? Or when they or are we going to get the Vikings when they played against the 49ers? We don't know that. Like, they played against the 49ers. You beat Green Bay, then you go lose to the 49ers. Like, what's Vikings team are we going to get? It's very similar to Detroit right now. We don't know which Lions we're going to get. Are we going to get the Lions where they went toe-to-toe with Baltimore Ravens? Or are we going to get, the Lions where they played against the Bengals? We don't know.
Well, hopefully with the Lions, I wish I could point to a win. So the best, I guess, is hopefully we get the Lions that played the Steelers. But you brought up Kirk Cousins, and here's what he had to say about playing the Lions.
They're in every game. They're playing down in the final play, the last drive. We certainly lived that too. And so having played them already once, I have a lot of respect for their defense, how hard they play, the players they have, how smart they are, the way their coaches handle their scheme. So, I see it as a great challenge for us, especially going on the road. And we've got to get this bad taste out of our mouth from the San Francisco game. And so we've got to have a great week this week, and it really starts today.
So he kind of reiterated what you just said, Joik, that they're kind of the same team as the Lions right now. Like, they're unpredictable.
Unpredictable. And that's the thing that makes the team good, is the consistency. And that what makes the team bad is consistently being bad. And so with the Lions, we're threading the needle right now. Like, even when we play well, we play just bad enough to lose the game. Like, and just bad enough can really be one play. Right. It could really be one play, missing the interception against the Steelers midfield in overtime, where we could have at least got in field goal range to kick a field goal.
4th and 19 against the Ravens.
So it's all these different things that happens to the Lions where we just say we want to win, we're gonna get an effort, but let's lose before we can have that first round draft pick.
What do you feel about Dan Campbell taking over the play calling? And I know you've had some, in your playing career, you had some interesting situations. Like, you played with Peyton Manning, where I've heard you say before, you didn't even know who the OC was. It was Peyton, right? Peyton was the OC of that team. What kind of message does that send to a team when the coach is like, nah, I'm going to take this away from you and I'm calling the plays now?
Hey, even Anthony Lynn said that, he had a position, or that's happened to him in his career, where he had to take over the play calling. And he said that if he was a head coach, he would have did the same thing. When you're not producing on offense, as a head coach, that falls on you, regardless if you're calling the plays or not calling the plays. And so if it's going to fall on you, hey, why not call the plays?
Right.
And I just think it speaks testament to where we start going to these games and we're running the ball more than what we're throwing. That's never been the Lions' MO, ever. In my time, in the past decade, that has never been the Lions' MO, to run more than you pass. It's never been done here.
Do you think that should be our MO, though?
Now it should be.
Okay.
Now it should be. But even that was difficult when we didn't have Taylor Decker, we didn't have, Ragnar. We didn't have Ragnar. And then the only person we really had was Penei Sewell. Then he got hurt. And he was playing limited as well. I mean, playing through injuries. That just kind of showed his toughness. And so moving forward, I think that's the next step we have to do is run the ball. But you're not going to win a championship just running the ball. You can't win it just running the ball. I mean, if you're going to do that, then, the Titans would have won a championship last year and the year before. You got to be able to throw the ball as well.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Joink, because the whole thing and the frustrating part is the coaching, but the clock management, especially at the end of the games or end of halves and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. Now, you guys in practice and you guys as players watch a ton of tape and do this, and you run through your 4-minute offense drill, you run through your 2-minute drill. Do coaches, is there a conversation between coaches and practice and stuff about, when you're doing plays, how to use the clock? I know, your hurry-up offenses, but where is the film work or whatever, the education to learn? Is there? Do you know what I'm asking? Is there a class in there or a film study work for the coaches? Mm-hmm. Do they do that?
So I don't know exactly the technique that Dan Campbell uses when it comes to coaching. But how we used to do it when I played was Coach Caldwell would come in every Wednesday. We'll have a team meeting every Wednesday, and then we have another team meeting on Saturday, and then game day, obviously. But every Wednesday, he'll come in, he'll go through the emphasis tape, we'll go through everything, and then at the end of it, he'll have film up of a specific game and the minute and the time, and he'll go through the play. This is what happened. This is what should have happened. This is how they should have managed the time here. All right, and so he'll break it down from that standpoint. It's a minute something left, 2 timeouts, and so this is how we're going to move. This is how we're going to run this play. We're on defense. We got to get the ball back. It's 4th down. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Or it's no timeouts. It's 30 seconds or it's 20 seconds left on the clock. We're going to try to get in field goal range, get the field goal unit on the sideline, on the line of scrimmage, right? And when the play is over, they're running straight onto the field, and the defense is running to the sideline, right? And if you're down the field, it doesn't matter. You don't have to run back to this. Just get off the field, run off the back of the end zone, and walk around. That's fine as well. And so we have things like that we'll talk about, but every game is different. What we talk about this game might not happen this game. It might happen 3 weeks from now. Right. But we remember that conversation we had with Coach Caldwell about certain situations in the game.
Yeah, situational football is, it's crucial to the game, and you got to be able to think on the spot, know the clock, pay attention, sub packages coming in, right packages. There's just so much involved with 11 guys trying to get on the same page at all times. That's why there's sometimes 12 men on the field, 10 men on the field, because it's very fast paced. You only have 30 seconds between plays to get things rolling. So, I know 40, but after the play is over, the coach finally decides what package he wants to bring in and stuff like that.
Yeah, but usually when you play that situational ball, if it's third and it's 3rd and 8, and field goal, the target field goal line is say 4 yards down the field. You don't have to get the whole 8, and there's no timeouts. You're going to try to do a out route or something where you can try to stop the clock,
right?
Or you're going to run the ball to the sideline or to the sideline you want, get sacked. Get tackled, boom, get up, run off the field, and then you have the field goal unit running onto the field, and they have about 10 to 15 seconds to get set up. The kicker has to get his footing, and and it's time to go. It's no time for none of that. But we work on that type of stuff like that during the year, right? During the week, during practice, and even if we don't use it that week, 6, 7 weeks down the road, we know. It's kind of like the playbook, right?
It's like muscle memory too, right?
Yeah, it's like a playbook. You go through a whole playbook during training camp. The playbook could be about this thick. You stack about a couple books, but we use the Surface Pad now. But when the season comes around, our game packages are about this thick. But throughout the year, they might go back to the training day and pull out one of the plays for a specific week against a specific defense or DC that we might pull back into the playbook. But it's muscle memory. We've already went over it. We're just going to do another run through of it. We already kind of know it, and we just kind of perfect it.
Well, Dan Campbell kind of did some self-evaluation this week, and he was talking just about how he feels he's been doing so far this season, and here's his comments on that.
Yeah, look, certainly I can be better, and there's things that, I mean, there's, now it's been 3 games, and all 3 of those games, there's 3 calls I wish I could have back, and, so, you learn as you go, you grow, and then, look, I'm not gonna lie, there's things about it between learning to be a head coach and a play caller that are all, it's stuff that I'm working through right now, that I can get better at. So I look at all of it, and I think about how do I prepare myself as best I can, and how do I improve on what I've done, to help these guys.
And I love that sentiment. Obviously you should always be self-editing and always looking at how you're performing. But D-Mac, have you ever played for a first-year coach that's learning on the job? And I know you've played for some Hall of Famers and stuff like that, but a guy that's kind of like Dan Campbell and is wearing it on his sleeve that, I haven't been the best that I can be, but I'll be better.
Well, I think that the 2 guys that come to mind was my first year in Adirondack with Newell Brown, but we had a absolutely all veteran team. And then when Scotty Bowman handed the reins over in 03-04 to Dave Lewis, but we had the veteran team too, so it was a different sort of situation, and we all see it face to face, what's going on, and he's not hiding from it. So I don't know, gotta work through it. That's why I have the clock. That's why it's right here.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's why it's only at 11. Right, there it is. Going to move up to 12 on this Sunday, which, by the way, join us for the pregame party down at the Tin Roof. I'll be there with Jay.
Yeah, you're doing the pregame this week, man.
And Maz, yeah. It's the only way I can make fun of Maz these days. So, but, yeah, it's a learning experience, and it's all about, to me, it's a parent. You learn the clock. It's harder to coach, and we all know that, but the effort's there, and like I said, the saving grace is this clock right here. So I liked, I think it was Phil Solomon, is a Vikings fan, and he's a little worried this week, and he thinks the Lions got a good chance. I like that.
I mean,
I like it.
I would be worried. The most dangerous animal is a wounded animal, and we're definitely wounded at this point. And no matter if you're doing the pregame with D-Mac down at Tin Roof or you're doing the postgame with me at the Brass Rail, there's one thing that you should be sipping on, and it is Gypsy vodka, because that's going to be my play all weekend long for the Michigan game, for the pre and the post game. Gypsy vodka, mix it with whatever you want, or drink it straight because it's that smooth. I had a nice chilled shot that Fish bought me a couple weeks ago, and it was delicious. It's Michigan made. It's by guys here from Michigan, so you know how we love to support that at Woodward Sports. So you can do your part and support it too, and you will not be disappointed. Make sure you ask for Gypsy vodka wherever you do your liquor shopping, and if they don't have it, they will get it for you. And when you're at the bar, order a Gypsy vodka cocktail because it's so delicious and you will not regret it.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Welcome back. It is Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. Thank you guys for listening, especially on the Roar. We appreciate you, and make sure you download our app. It's available in Google or Apple Play stores. Just search WSN Live or Woodward Sports. Big game tonight. Thursday Night Football is happening.
Let's get it.
America's team, which is not America's team.
Stop calling it that.
I hate that. That's the worst moniker ever.
Calling it that.
I'm American, and they're not my team. I know that much, so they're not America's team.
You know what it is, though? It's America's team because either you're going to turn the game on to watch them win because you're a fan, or you're going to turn the game on to watch them lose. Like, it's one or the other.
Right.
It's one or the other. I can't wait to see them lose.
So, Cowboys -4.5 against the Saints tonight. The Saints are without running back Alvin Kamara. It looks like Taysom Hill is going to be starting at quarterback over Trevor Siemian, which I thought Siemian did okay the last couple games. But CeeDee Lamb is out for the Cowboys. Amari Cooper is back after 2 weeks off of COVID. Who you guys got in this game?
I'm gonna take the Cowboys. I'm gonna take the Cowboys this game. They've been playing at a high level. They have Cooper coming back. The only thing is Lamb is out, right? But I think they still have enough firepower on the offensive side to run the scoreboard up. They still got it. So I got the Cowboys.
They ain't the juggernaut they used to be at home playing in the Superdome. I mean, that's a tough place to play. And 4.5, and this line just screams bet Cowboys. So I'm going to take the New Orleans. I like the 4.5. I think that all this stuff, Ingram might not play. The running back Taysom Hill starting all against them, but it's still the Superdome. And watching Dallas lose at home last week on the Thursday Thanksgiving game to the LA Raiders, there's some holes. They don't look. Zeke's banged up. There's some question marks in there. And without CeeDee Lamb, I don't know. They'll have to prove it to me. Now if Dallas does win, they win handily, they cover, I can see it happening too, but it's just one of those fishy things.
Yeah, so if I had to put my money on it, I'll put my money on the Cowboys, but I'm gonna rock with the Saints. That's the former team. I still got some homeboys on the team. I got Cam Jordan still there.
Nice.
And they brought my boy Mark Ingram back, so I still got some boys on the squad.
Cam Jordan's a beast. I love Cam Jordan.
I would put him in the caliber up there with Brandon Graham, just a freak. Spending your whole career with one team, that's very rare.
Right.
That's very rare.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one guy that I love to watch play is Micah Parsons. I cannot wait to watch him play. I think what has happened to the Dallas Cowboys defense over the course of this year by bringing in Dan Quinn after he left Atlanta, he has totally turned around their defense. Another thing we haven't brought up, Mike McCarthy's not going to be there because he's in COVID protocol too. Joy, I got a question for you on this. Last year during the playoffs, Kevin Stefanski missed it for the Browns because of COVID. How much is missing a head coach a detriment to a game like this? Or has the game plan already been put in and it's just kind of the in-game decisions that will be affected more than how they're rolling into the game? And I'm trying to stretch that so you can finish your bite.
No, don't stretch it. No, I got it. I think it plays a major part for him not being there, having that presence there, when the team kind of look down the sideline. But as far as the game plan is already in there. And depending on who they are, depends on is your head coach calling the plays, or is he just kind of watching the clock and managing the game, going over with the DC or OC about what they see and what he thinks. I think that plays a big part, but the game plan is the game plan. All right, it's already in. But it's going to be key parts of the game where, the coach is going to make that final decision, which is going to affect the game. Now, my thing is, do they have does the coach have an earpiece in his ear at home, or is he watching the game, or is he a fan in the crowd, but he's still there with the ear? I think about stuff like that.
Well, it's crazy that they can't do that now with technology. You would figure, just put him on an iPad on a robot and have it go up and down the sidelines, and he can still call the plays, be involved with the team, talk to them face to face. I don't understand why, if they're on COVID protocol, they can't have any connection with the team during the game. That makes no sense to me. We have the technology to do it.
My question is because it's a short week, right? Sunday to Thursday, like you said, the game plan's already in place. Does that mean that, do you prepare going in against, every week it's sort of the basic and then you add to it? So it would be the assistant coaches or the Dan Quinns or whoever else adding to the game plan?
So you have your run game installments, and then you have your pass game installments for in the.
Right, but it's not a big adjustment.
It's not a big adjustment. Because every day you're adding something else in.
Is it more important that the guy who's filling in for your coach has head coach experience?
No, you don't need
that. I'm wondering how that works. It's just
because every day, as far as the game plan, say the first day you come in, you're going through the depth chart, you're going through the your base run game, your base passing game, and then you're going through the second day, you're going through the fringe area, and then on Friday you put in your red zone package. So every day you're adding in another package, and so it's not like you're getting everything at the beginning of the week. You're getting something every day is something else that you can add into the game plan along with the first installment, and so it's not difficult. It's just adjustment that you have to make. And, your head coach can still have a say-so in that with just talking to the coaches over the phone and watching film from home. Like, I'm pretty sure he's having, a conversation with them throughout the week. This is what I see. They run this, so I think we need to run this against that. And just looking for weaknesses. And that's all they do.
Well, I'm looking forward to Amari Cooper having a big game tonight. Selfishly, he's on my fantasy team, which I know nobody else cares about. Everybody's personal fantasy team.
Wait, so you decided to start
him?
So
you picked him up before the show?
No, I've had him.
No,
I had him all year.
You said you weren't sure if you're going to start him, but who are your choices?
It was between him or Van Jefferson, and obviously if Amari Cooper's healthy, I also have Allen Robinson, but he hasn't really had the best season. So, yeah, with CeeDee Lamb out, I think you got to go with Cooper, right? You have to. He's going to be their entire offense.
I would.
Yeah.
They got a chance to throw it downfield to him.
Probably not the entire offense, but he's take up a...
Yeah, he's a boomer bust guy, though. He'll put up like 30 points for you, or he'll put up 3. That's the thing with Amari Cooper. He's not a consistent 15 to 20 guy. It's either here or here. There's really no in between. So tonight,
making me a flex then.
That's kind of, well, Gibson's my flex, but we can get into all of that later. I don't think anybody.
I never played fantasy football.
Really?
So never.
Really? Would you draft yourself if you played fantasy football?
No, it's funny. So I'll give you a funny story. We're playing the Cardinals, and Campbell is on the D-line. And I remember he tackled me on a play, and then I think it was going into another quarter or I don't know what it was, but we had a quick conversation. But he tackled me. He said, hey, man, hey. I had you on my fantasy team. I had to take off this week, though. Because I had to take off my fantasy team this week. And in my head, I'm thinking, I would never play fantasy football. But a lot of guys do play it. And for him to tell me that, I had you all year. I took you off for this week, though. I can't let you score.
Did you hear about Cooper Kupp's dad? So, he plays in this big fantasy league, and every year, everybody's like, that's your son, you can have him. And but now, after the year he's had this year, his whole fantasy squad is like, no, we're no longer giving him to you just because he's your son. He's going to get drafted just like everybody else.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, hell yeah. Cooper,
and I think I did hear that story, though. That's a pretty cool story.
Yeah,
do you play fantasy football, D-Mac?
No. I've done it before. I got too much ADHD. I can't concentrate. I'm a good, if you play and you say, hey, what do you think about this? Or whatever, I follow it, but no, it's too much going on.
Fantasy football is the only one I'll do because of the same reason as you. There's too many other games in other sports. 162 games in baseball, I can't keep up with that. 82 games in basketball, and I can't keep up with that. There's just so much change.
It is. And so football, I think it's good because it's not that many games, and it's easier to kind of keep up with your players. You can go look at the stats, you can go catch the games, and even when I hear people who I would never think were football fans say, "Oh no, I play fantasy football," and and it makes you watch all the games. It makes you want to watch all the different games and different players in different games to kind of keep up with your score, keep up with your team. I was like, okay, well, that's a great way for the NFL to kind of market other teams.
Breaking news: CeeDee Lamb is not out.
Yeah, that's what I'm reading in the chat. Some people are saying he's definitely out. Some people are saying he's definitely in. So, looks like it's a game-time decision, maybe?
Maybe so. Undecided.
Undecided?
Questionable.
There you go.
Questionable.
Said he cleared concussion protocol, been practicing since Monday, so we'll find out game time. Good thing you don't have to have your lineup until tonight.
Yep. I get to make that decision. But, we'll find out who's going to be the hot and cold wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys tonight. And speaking of hot and cold, Joik.
Speaking of hot and cold, have I told you about Northwestern Tech? It's getting to that time of year. Is your heater going out? Do you need a new job? Do you need to learn something new? Hey, I'm going to tell you who's going to learn something. Who's going to need something new? If you get fired, if this head coach gets fired because he's not winning, he can always go get a job at Northwestern Tech. To learn more, go to northwesterntech.edu. I'm Joik Bell. That's Stick. That's D-Mac. And I almost call Stick Neil Rule because I'm so used to saying that, but he's not here today. You got Fish in the Fishbowl. Go follow him on Twitter at Fish Kiwi. Is it Fish Kiwi?
Yes, sir.
All right, Kiwi.
Iceman in the building.
And you have Story Time with Sawyer on the 1s and 2s. Story Time with Sawyer. I love that. I love it. Here we go. This is Big D Energy. Stay tuned.
Big D! Big D! Big D! Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Welcome back. It is Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network, as well as The Roar here locally in Detroit. And shout out to everybody watching on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and listening on the app as well. We appreciate you being a part of Woodward Sports. We could not do this without you. Some coaching changes around the college football arena, and we've seen a lot, but I think the biggest shocker has been Brian Kelly just up and leaving a job that he had Notre Dame in pretty good position to compete. It seemed like he was the perfect Fighting Irish coach. You know, he's an Irish guy. His name is Brian Kelly. Like, what else would you want for Notre Dame? But he left for LSU, and it's caused some turmoil within that organization, which obviously, but Notre Dame has named Marcus Freeman as their new head coach, and Tommy Rees is going to stay at offensive coordinator. I don't know about this move. I don't know if I love it. I had to fill in for Adam this morning because he was a little under the weather on the morning show, and I was saying I feel like this was just kind of a panic move to stabilize the ship without actually doing a ton of due diligence and going to find the next great head coach. How do you guys feel about the Notre Dame decision?
No, I think that this was a decision made in-house to the coaches and stuff, and I think that the big thing here is you look at the way things are differently done from the Lincoln Riley, USC taking a bunch of his coaches and stuff, and Brian Kelly just splitting and leaving Tommy Rees to stay, and Marcus Freeman. But he, young coach, young guy, but to me this has to go with culture and recruiting and sort of not to shake it up as much. It makes sense to me because it's Notre Dame. They do it their own way and stuff like this.
Right.
And you know, to the Brian Kelly thing, you know, the fact of how it went down, and I'm sure it was the LSU, you're gonna have to make a decision before you hang up the phone sort of thing. But track record, the way he left Cincinnati, and it is surprising that the Irish guy left him high and dry. But again, what do I always say, Nick? Follow the money. So I think this is a great move for Notre Dame. From as little as I know about Marcus Freeman, but he's a young guy. He's in his early 30s and stuff like this. And it's the people around. Tommy Rees has been around college football for a long time. So hopefully, like you said, the disappointing thing is always for the kids, and it's to never care about for the kids. And the fact that what really, and I mentioned this yesterday, is the respect I have for Scott Frost because he played out at UCF before he took the money in Nebraska. Notre Dame's technically, with some loss, if Alabama loses, Oklahoma State loses stuff, they could be in the playoffs or whatever, but even a great New Year's Day 6 bowl, and he doesn't care. So to me, that's sort of, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way you treat people. So I know Lincoln Riley got the bag and the PJ and everything like that, but you see he did it the same way. You look at like Mel Tucker, his renegotiating his contract, putting money back in for his assistants.
You gotta like it.
I gotta like that. I don't like the way the politics, but I think what Notre Dame did is they didn't panic. They sat there and said, well, we've gotten here. Maybe it's a kick in the pants to say, you guys did this. He's just, he got you here, but you learned, and now you can continue it. So
it's funny because it was a lot of noise about Marcus Freeman when he first came on to the team about probably one day taking over as head coach. Like, it was a lot of noise about that with him coming in and helping to change this defense around before he came in before this season. So the way that the members, the fans, the members around the university, the team, the players on the team have been behind a guy getting his job as much as Marcus Freeman coming in and getting his job. Like, a lot of people are behind him. Like you said, we don't know too much about him, but this is a great opportunity for him because there were talk about him becoming the head coach, just not this soon.
Right.
Not this soon, And so I guess it's up in the air. We can see what he does. I mean, he came in and he really helped out this defense. Change his defense around. All the players respect him and love him. Let's see what happens.
Does Brian Kelly work in LSU?
I mean, he's got stuff to work with in LSU. I think going to the SEC and actually being in a conference does a lot better for recruiting. He's got a different area to recruit now, but I don't know how you can do better than what Notre Dame was doing. That's the thing. Like, now you're going against Alabama, you're going against Auburn, you're going against the big dogs. Notre Dame, as much as I hate that they're in a non-conference, they were able to pretty much set up their schedule every year how they wanted to. Now you got to play some games, Brian Kelly. You got to play the big boys now.
Now that's true. But does that work in its advantage playing against these bigger teams in a conference? And then even more than that, this to be quite frank, it's easier to get into LSU than Notre Dame.
Does his message carry to LSU? Because you mentioned it doesn't seem right. Yeah, Brian Kelly, the Irish Catholic boy that coached there.
Right.
That's, a little bit different down south, done a little bit different. I just wondered to the point of the defense, to the point of the offense, the message, can he do it again? He's proven he can do it where he goes.
Yeah, and I don't think that's his track record speaks for itself.
Okay.
Multiple championships in Division II.
Do you expect him to be successful?
Yeah. Mac, winning, going to Central Michigan, turning that program around, going to Cincinnati and going undefeated, and then leaving at the end of the year and going to Notre Dame and having success there. I think his track record speaks for itself.
Did you see that story about him at Central Michigan when he had a house party?
And LaFleur and I think here, I'll sum it up before you get to him talking. At least he tried to talk to his team. But Chuck Brewer, you nailed it, man. Chip Kelly, Brian Kelly, great coach, horrible person.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, I don't need you to be a great person if you're my coach, or honestly, if you're a teammate. What I need for you to is be a good teammate and a good player. Right. I've said that 100 times about the Lions. We've had this nice guy mentality here. I want some guys that are dangerous. I want some guys that I don't exactly trust, but I know stepping on the field are absolute animals. But you mentioned Brian Kelly tried to address the Notre Dame team, and what an awkward thing to go from sitting in these young men's house to promising them, I'm going to be your coach, I'm going to be your father figure, I'm going to be everything to you through this college experience, to peace, I'm out, taking the bag. But here's what he had to say to his team.
Morning, guys. Thanks for getting up here in short order, short notice. As you know, I sent out a text last night trying to give you as much notice as possible given the circumstances that we all know that happen relative to social media and information getting out. And look, I know we've been through this together. I've recruited virtually everybody in this room, and I want to be able to tell you face to face, why we're at where we're at, and that is very simply that the past 12 years have been the most incredible 12 years of my life for me and my family, being here at Notre Dame. Magical in what we've been able to build with the most incredible student athletes, the ones that I'm looking at right now. And so many times people look for a reason to blame, or there was a reason for something. There was nothing here but first class in everything that Notre Dame has done for me and my family. I saw my time here as a blessing, working with incredible men on a day-to-day basis. But there comes a time where you look in your life for another opportunity. And I felt like it was time in my life for another challenge. And I saw that opportunity in a very short window, and felt that it was best for me and my family to pursue a new challenge. And so there's no one to blame. There's nobody that's at fault. Nobody did anything wrong. You guys have been the backbone of this program and what you've accomplished, and will continue to do that. I think you're one of the 4 best teams in the country. Jack is going to get somebody that will continue to lead this program in incredible fashion. I don't know what it holds for us moving forward, but I hope the heck it means that you're playing for the national championship, because you absolutely deserve it. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank every one of you for giving me this opportunity to speak to you directly, because you don't get that chance very often. And to thank you for allowing me to pursue what I love to do, and that's develop 18 to 21-year-olds. And you will continue to achieve at the highest level and have great success, no matter what moves forward for you. So, again, thank you. I love each and every one of you. And for me, more than anything else, it's a sad day, but one where I know that each one of you are going to do great things, and you've got more to accomplish. So I wish everybody here the very best, and thank you for the opportunity that you've given me and my family. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
First of all, what was that shot on? Like the Nokia phone that we all used to play Snake on? Like, that was some awful video.
You just brought up Nokia Snake?
Yeah, remember? I used to run Snake on the Nokia phone. But besides that, I want this to become a new thing. Anytime you break up with somebody or any relationship that's coming to an end, I want a press conference where you have to address them and lie straight to their face, because that was just the "it's not you, it's me" speech. Like, that's all that was, and you could tell by body language of people sitting in there, that kid in front just like this.
Would you have more?
Like, I ain't trying to hear
this. Would you have more respect if he got up there and said, "Boys, they gave me the bag. Boys, I can't, like this in life. They gave me the bag.
Right,
yeah,
look him right in the face. Hey, I love you so much.
Yeah.
$95 million, though, bro. I'm sorry. I'm out. Love y'all." Like, mic drop. Leave the room.
You know what though? At what point in time is a breakup a good time to break up? Like, at what point in time?
Never.
You don't know. It's never like what's the words that you can go in there to those young men to make them feel like I didn't screw you. I did. Like, what? How can you go in there? Like, I respect them for going in there to talk to the kids, but honestly, what you said. Listen, guys, I love you guys. I've been here with you guys, and we've made some great things together. But listen, they gave me $95 million.
Right.
If anybody offer you guys $95 million to go do something, I'm gonna tell you guys to get out of here. So for the betterment of my family, this is what we have to do. This is a business, but at the same time, I look at each one of you guys as such and such. So I had a coach who actually we was in a running back room. Curtis Mockins got an opportunity to go take a coaching job in Tennessee. And he looked me, it was me, Theo Riddick, Reggie Bush. It was after the 2013 season. And he said he turned it down because he wanted to stay there with us, right? He wanted to stay there with us. Like, he told us that. And then he ended up getting a coaching job after the 15 season. And I think he said this is when he ended up leaving and going somewhere else. But at the same time, I respect it. Tell me to my face, shake hands. I wish you the best. That's the same thing that happens in this industry.
Right.
The same thing.
100%.
Another network offers you more money. You better go take that money.
Shh. Joy, come on, what you doing, man? No, you stay here at Woodward Sports. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey, listen what I tell you. We all love you. We all love each other.
Sawyer, put the camera on me, because this is the best one. And Francis Garcia, you win, because I'm going to do it in the Brian Kelly what he should have done. This is what Francis Garcia said. It's a sad day, but not for me. I got the dough. Later, players. Right? That's what he should have done. At least he would have got respect for the kids.
Puts on his monocle, throws his money bag over.
Hey, NIL.
Listen, before I go, I'm going to give you guys off a little stipend before I leave, because you guys are a part of the reason why I got this. Yeah. So take this little, $10,000 a piece, each player on the team, and y'all go. And I guarantee they be like, "Oh, we love Coach Kelly."
Right.
He's not going to do that, though.
Well, he's out. He's gone. And Notre Dame's got to rebuild from there. And that's just...
The way he walked out, though. The way he walked out.
And the fact to me that, 28 of, the 115 players showed up? Yeah. Only about 20% of the players showed up to that. And, I wouldn't show up to hear someone tell me I'm leaving you. I'd be like, all right,
at
cool.
7 in the morning.
Yeah, at 7 in the morning.
Who's waking up for that?
Do they at least offer snacks? I'd show up for snacks.
I don't know, but the one thing that I know for sure is, guys, let's be honest, we like stuff simple. That really wasn't simple. But football, 5, 6, 7 days a week, that's uncomplicated things that we love, like Lady Jane's haircuts for men. You walk in, you sign in, you sit down, and before you know it, you're handsome and clean. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Like that shirt Braylon Edwards is wearing.
Edwards with the Red Wings jersey
rocking the Red Wings. He looks like Tupac right now. I love it. That's Woodward Sports now with Joy Bell. Stick in for Neil Rule. D-Mac will be right back.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. One mortgage myth we hear all the time is having to choose between a 15 or a 30-year fixed term. At Hall Financial, we offer the modern mortgage to create a flexible term that fits your unique financial situation. Our team of mortgage experts are available 7 days a week to review your goals and customize a solution for you. Get started today with a free 5-minute mortgage review at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back to Big D Energy on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule today. We have Joik Bell in the building, of course, Darren McCarty, Fish, and Sawyer. And, honestly, behind the scenes here at Woodward Sports, what happens off camera, I wish you guys could be a part of, because that was just such a cool moment. Braylon Edwards walks in with his Red Wings jersey, and then he also quotes Darren from what Darren said earlier in the show, and it just shows the unity we have, other shows, listening to other shows, knowing what we're talking about, knowing each other's opinions.
Well, here's the thing:
you can't make that happen. That's an organic thing.
It's organic.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're building here, and anybody know? You showed the picture at the beginning, with Art and Jen and Tammy and Fish, and it's the family and the extended family. And the thing is, we're friends, and fans of each other. So it's the fact that it's part of the regular day sort of listing. I love that Pops me when he wears Red Wing stuff, and I know the best part about Braylon, and I will do it every time, and he knows it, right? I wish Stan was a surrogate dad of mine. His old man, I love that guy, but his mom, her favorite player is D-Mac, so she always knows. She knows what's going on in that family. So whatever, he was brought up well.
That's awesome.
So it's funny because we had that, I guess, that discrepancy about if they won the Fowling or not.
Oh,
right. But I'll tell you one thing. Well, it wasn't a discrepancy. Is the mystery beer that you guys had.
Right. Did you get a mystery beer?
I did not.
Oh, Sawyer had the PBR. Braylon had the Colt 45. I know Stingray Steve had some summer ale because he went to the Crafty Crafts.
I'm going to tell you this. I wonder what those Minnesota Wild fans had in their cups.
You know how many mystery beers could have filled up these cups from the Fowling warehouse? Look at this snake that the Minnesota Wild fans made.
Did they say how many cups made to bit? That was just through the concourse?
It was through the concourse, and you saw people tweeting about it. You saw Instagram videos of people doing their part. It was almost like it was their civic duty to add to the snake. And this thing just went through the entire arena. Look how long that is.
My thing is this.
My thing is it's a freaking $12 a beer.
You know how much money that is on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Right,
it's
exactly.
$12 a beer.
So and this is after they drunk it. This is not something like they went and asked for some cups. They bought these cups, drunk the beer, and then made these snakes. There has to be about. You think that's about 10,000 cups?
It's got to be at least. At least. Think
I
about
don't
how
know.
many
We got to do some Big J journalism and see if we could find something out on that. There,
I think
Spence.
it might be more than 10,000. It might be closer to 20.
Nick Leach yesterday posted on our Twitter that the Red Wings are going to start doing this with actual Stanley Cups. So that would be amazing.
I got four, Dad.
Yeah, you got four.
I can chip in.
We could start it with the 4 that D-Mac has.
There you go.
What an amazing scene, and I love when fans get together like that and just the communal aspect of sports is so amazing.
You know the answers. Nick asked why. Probably because they got 8 feet of snow on the ground. There's nothing to do.
Yeah, get that beer blanket, feel a little warm on you.
I wonder who organized that. But that, the fact that you have to be involved in, and then the arena's got to let you do it too.
Right.
Right. So that's the whole thing. I don't know.
What are they gonna tell you? Pick it up.
I don't.
They're gonna tell you to pick up 20,000 cups.
I wonder who.
It's a democracy here, guys. It's for the people.
And I wonder who the one person who started that was, because like to see your dream become a reality in a form of a cup snake would be amazing. Like I started that.
That was organic. They thought about that while they were sitting down in the seat. Like, hey, you guys want to do
them at the stadiums though when they've gone from the field all the way to the bat. That's sort of impressive.
Yep.
That's more impressive during the gameplay in the field that you can see it. I'd like to see it around the Inter Bowl of LCA.
I'll tell you what, I'm a bigger fan of that than I am the wave. Right.
Absolutely.
So
it takes commitment to that.
Yes, let's normalize beer cups instead of the wave. We have a special guest on the phone, D-Mac, very familiar with her. Red Wings digital reporter Daniella Bruce is joining us right now off a 4-game winning streak. How's it going, Daniella?
One day I'm going to learn how to unmute.
I always say I'm not going to be that guy, but I'm always that guy.
Yes.
Okay. It's all right. I didn't want to. Didn't want any background noise to interrupt your conversation, and I almost forgot. I did forget. But anyway, I'm in a great mood. You just mentioned the Red Wings on a 4-game win streak. It's been really exciting down there. D-Mac and I had fun last night doing Game Day Live, so it's been great. I'm doing well. I hope all of you are doing the same. It's good to see you again.
Thanks for joining us, D. Bruce, and you have to make sure you tell Carly Joe Johnson, that new country singer down there, your buddy, that we said hello. But again, I go to you because, like I said, you've been around this team and watched the maturation of some of these guys, the Dylan Larkins, the Tyler Bertuzzis, but from day one, the Lucas Raymonds and Mo Siders. How many games? What are we? 24 games into the season, or right around there?
At that mark.
What is it that you've seen? Because you've seen a lot of bad hockey over the past few years, but what is it that you see now and you recognize?
Darren, we talked about this last night, and I think the biggest thing is the resiliency that this team plays with. They went to Boston on, what day was that? Tuesday. So they went to Boston on Tuesday night and won a game that maybe they shouldn't have won, and that's what good teams do. When you're not playing your best brand of hockey, you still find a way to win games. And last night against the Kraken, we're in the second period, and Fabry comes out and scores, and then Seattle scores back-to-back goals. And the old Red Wings team that we saw may have given up or looked deflated, but that's not what happened. The Red Wings came back and scored a huge goal. Vladislav Nemetsov scored a huge goal at the end of the second period, and you just knew that they were going to gain momentum heading into the third, and they kept it going. The shootout was great. Like I said, they even admitted it. It wasn't their best game, right? They didn't play 100%, but like I said, that's what good teams do. When you're not 100%, you find a way to dig and you find a way to grind out a win, and that's what they've done for the past 2 games. So on Tuesday versus Boston and last night versus the Kraken, games that maybe could have gone either way, the Red Wings came out in favor of. And I don't think that would have happened last season or the season before that.
Talking to Daniella Bruce, the digital reporter, everything Detroit Tigers and Detroit Red Wings. Talk to me about Lucas Raymond and Mo Sider. Obviously, coming off one of Mo Sider wins Rookie of the Month for October. Lucas Raymond wins it for November. How good are these guys, and what is the most impressive part to you about both their games?
Well, for Mo Sider, I think the thing that has impressed me most so far is his demeanor on the blue line. He's calm, he plays with patience, he's smart. And honestly, this is no knock on any other Red Wings defenseman, but watching him is different. Watching him looks like the next level, and the fact that he's doing that as a rookie is crazy. He's only going to get better, and same with Lucas Raymond. And for him, I think what I've noticed is his vision on the ice. Yes, he can score goals. We've seen that. He kind of had 2, and Darren and I talked about that last night. He had a snipe early in the first period that was called back due to an offsides, but he's a pure goal scorer, but he also can make the plays. When some of the passes he makes, finding his line mates in Dylan Larkin and normally Tyler Bertuzzi are, they're perfect. They're a thing of beauty, and I think he makes Dylan Larkin that much better. He makes Tyler Bertuzzi that much better, and that's something that we needed. Dylan Larkin's having a great season, much better than we saw last year, and I think a big part of it is Lucas Raymond.
Before I give you Stick, Scott, and Joy have questions for you, did I not call Raymond scoring in the third period? Did I not say he wasn't done because he's got the brilliance of that? I'll let these guys, they've got big questions for you. I get to hoard your time all the time. So, Stick, go ahead, bud.
Mine's not really a big question. We were talking about this like before the Michigan-Ohio State game. Sometimes you get a vibe and sometimes you get an energy. With LCA being relatively new and the Red Wings only playing there a couple of seasons, are you feeling a different energy and a different camaraderie and chemistry, not only amongst the fans, but amongst this young and growing team?
Oh, definitely. And I mean, I don't know how much you are able to watch their media availabilities and the guys that are talking to the media, but everything's different. Even Coach Blashill, they're more confident. They're talking about, we're going to build on this, and they actually do build on it. It's not coming out and talking about losses all the time. They're winning. They're stringing together winning hockey, and I think that's really important, and the fans are feeding off of that. And I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that we had no fans in the building last season, and that was terrible. I missed the energy in the building. The players missed the energy in the building, and Coach Blashill had a quote that said, "I wish we could take our fans on the road with us, because I think that would help us with our road record and improving that road record." The energy at Little Caesars Arena has been incredible, and people are really excited about this team. And I think the players are really excited about this team. They have more talent. They have a little bit more depth than they had before. They won that game last night without Tyler Bertuzzi, and that's a big, big part of their offense. So they're able, like I said, to come out with wins that we normally wouldn't see when you look at last year or the year before that, or maybe even a few years back.
Daniella Bruce, hi. So really quick, I love having you. I know I'm your favorite here. I know Neil is here.
I tell you that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay, I'm out.
I think we confirmed the last time we had you on. But real quick, now you talk about confidence. You talk about how you see it in the locker room through their interviews. What plays a major part? Because I know that's very huge in your success. What do you think plays a major part in them having that confidence, aside from winning? Because you have to have that confidence before you start winning.
I was going to say, Joyka, let's be honest, you're a former athlete, and winning definitely helps the confidence.
Right.
But winning games for sure. And I think they have more faith in each other, if that makes sense. They know that they've got guys, they've got a talented team on their hands. And one other thing that we haven't mentioned yet, they have to be extremely confident in their goaltending right now, and that's huge. Alex Nedeljkovic has been incredible through 4 games. His save percentage was over 900, well over 900. I think it was like a 943 or something like that in his last 4 games. So he's been great. And Thomas Greiss comes in last night after not playing for 4 games and played really well. He made some key stops. There was a big one in overtime, and it's just knowing that your guys are there and that you can get the job done, and that the depth is there too. I think that's something that when you're stringing together wins, that obviously builds confidence. But when you're confident in your teammates, it also builds your self-confidence. You can take a little bit more of a risk. You can make plays that maybe you weren't able to before because you have the confidence in your teammates that are behind you.
I love it, Dee. One of the things that I mentioned, and you noticed, but the difference is, we're winning overtime games, right? We're winning shootouts last night. That was a game that I was saying during the intermissions that they have to find a way to win. The ebbs and flows of the season and stuff like this. At this point of the season, right? Name a couple, like who are people that maybe have surprised you, other than the young guys or whatever, but guys that are doing a great job that maybe goes underneath the radar a little bit and overlooked.
I think it's an easy answer for me. It's Vladislav Nemetsnikov, who has had a great season so far. Last year, he only had 7 goals total. He now has 8 on the season after his goal last night, and he's been good defensively too. He's been really solid when you talk about secondary scoring. The top line can't do everything, and that top line being Lucas Raymond, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Dylan Larkin. You need guys like Vladislav Nemetsnikov. And my second one, Adam Ernie. He was great last season too, but this year, and what a shot last night in the shootout. I did not expect that from Adam Ernie, I'm not going to lie, but it was great, and it gave the Red Wings the win, and I think he's another guy that's been very, very good defensively. He was on a bit of a scoring drought there until a couple of games ago when he scored at home, but I think he's been really, really good. And like I said, you need those second and third line guys to be contributing offensively to win games, especially when you're not playing your best hockey. And that happened the past 2 games. So I think they've been huge this season.
Yeah, they definitely have. And, the 2 guys fighting for that Calder trophy have also played a massive role in this. If you had to pick right now, which one of those 2 is going to take it home? And I know it's like picking between your kids.
Well, I'm going to say it's 3. because Alex Nedeljkovic is eligible.
Love that.
This year. So we're going to go with the three of them. And right now, I'm giving it to Lucas Raymond. He has just done something to this offense that is, I don't think any of us expected it. I think we all expected him to be a great player because Steve Yzerman drafted him, and let's be honest, Steve Yzerman drafts great players. So we were excited about him, 4th overall pick, but I don't think we expected him to make the impact that he's making this early. He is the only rookie to lead his team in scoring this season in the NHL. So that's a huge stat, and I think Mo is close, though. I think it's a really close call because defense is so important, and the Red Wings' blue line was really lacking. And with the addition of Seider and Leddy, they look like a different blue line. So I think it's close, but I'm going Lucas Raymond. He has a slight edge for me.
So last question here, D, is because you get to talk to these guys a lot more. You're around them. Give us a little nugget of what Lucas Raymond and Morgan Seider are like off the ice, because the thing that I like is their maturity, and you listen to them talk, and it's like unbelievable. Not only their play on the ice, but off the ice. But is there something like? Does one of them like chocolate chip cookies, or somebody's into ice cream, or is there some nugget you got for people?
I'll tell you this. Rumor has it, we talked to Joe Valeno on this week's edition of The Word on Woodward, so check that out. But we asked him about his relationship with Mo Seider and Lucas Raymond because all three of them are right around the same age, and Joe and Mo lived together when Mo Seider was playing in Grand Rapids, and Mo can't cook. Joe was the cook. And we talked a little bit about that with him, and he said Lucas Raymond might be worse. So Joe Valeno so he is going to have to go to their different apartments and make some food for them. So I guess that's been a problem.
There we go. Pre-packaged meals, and don't worry, guys, because the Red Wings have a nutritionist. I'm sure sends these guys home with food. And then you got Valeno, who's Italian, so. The cook's good. We're in good hands. Thanks, D.
Yeah.
Love you. Thank you.
Daniella.
The boys will not go hungry, that's for sure.
No problem.
Yeah,
anytime. Come back. Please come back.
Daniella Bruce, the Red Wings digital reporter, thank you for joining us on the Woodward Sports Network. And, obviously this week has been up and down, especially after the tragedy that happened in Oxford. And I know myself, I want to help, but I don't really know how to help, and there's really not much you can do from the outside. But one really cool thing that we found that's happening right now on change.org, they're signing a petition for Tate Myre Stadium. That's what they want to rename the Oxford Stadium. So if you're feeling like you're helpless and there's nothing that you can do to help, there's just good that you can come out of this. And if you want to go right now to change.org and sign that petition, us here at Woodward Sports, we're encouraging everybody to do this. It's a simple thing, but it's something that is meaningful and can help turn something good out of a tragedy. So go to change.org right now and sign the petition to change the name of Oxford's field. We'll be right back. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
It is the Woodward Sports Network live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and of course, you can hear us on The Roar here in Detroit. My name is Stick, filling in for Neil Rule. He'll be back on Monday. We have Darren McCarty up here on the desk. We have Joik Bell in his big comfy chair, fish in the fishbowl. And of course, my man Sawyer, making sure that we all sound and look good. College football bowl predictions. Some of the matchups are starting to line up. We're starting to see how this is going to fall out. Obviously, once the official Big Four are named, everything will line up after that. But how you guys feeling about this bowl series going in? I think that outside the top 5 or the top 4, we're still going to have some great bowl matchups, and you're looking at some of the potential matchups that you're seeing here. You know, everything from Cincinnati and Georgia. The Cotton Bowl would be Michigan and Cincinnati if all things stayed equal right now. And I don't know, Pitt and Michigan State at the Peach Bowl. You got Ohio State and Utah, Alabama versus Baylor, Notre Dame, Ole Miss.
Did you guys notice what they had for the college football playoffs?
What did they have?
They had Cincinnati beating Michigan to get to Georgia.
Yeah, I saw that.
I do see that.
Okay. Well, the Michigan fans are like, we're going to win by 40. We're going to win by 40. It doesn't look like they're even winning.
Fish. But this is somebody's opinion. So
it's just as valid as mine.
Just as valid as yours, or just as valid as Stick's right now.
Yep.
Right. So obviously, did you know the guy that wrote that is from Cincinnati?
I did not know that.
See, easy as that.
But they also
do I allegedly is though.
They have Oklahoma State getting into the Final
that's
Four
it.
as well.
Let's talk about that, right?
Yeah.
Upsets this week: Alabama, Georgia. So they got Georgia beating Alabama. They got Oklahoma State beating Baylor, right? I think those are two games that could be up in the air. The one I'm most confident in is Michigan and Iowa, right? But if I had to put all the money on whatever else, that game. But there's still and that's the beauty of this season, right? The beauty of this season. So you look at where Alabama is playing Baylor in the Sugar Bowl. They don't have them respected. You know that the Alabama. So there's still a lot of things. But the worst part or the best part or whatever it is, right? At the end of the day, the narrative's already filled out for the bowl committee and for the NCAA and whatever else. They've proven that because they're either going to tell you it's the eyeball test or this team looks better, this team's stats are better, and this and that and this.
Right.
So this would let you know, depending on who put this out, what the committee is feeling more, right? So if you see it play out, but again, there has to be certain wins to go each way. Do you feel confident that like the way that it's going to finish like that, like Alabama's going to lose to Georgia, Oklahoma State's going to beat Baylor, like all that stuff?
I think Georgia's going to win that game. I do. And I hope Georgia wins because otherwise that changes things because I think if Alabama wins that game, you may get two SEC teams in the Final Four. And I don't want to see that.
Right. Well, you would. So that's so the whole thing is Neil brought it up that everybody in the Big Ten wants Michigan to beat Iowa because of having somebody in the playoff getting more money for the team. That makes sense like this. And yeah, I guess that's true to make it the more truer.
Right.
When you have a representative from 4 different conferences.
And then they have just talk about OSU. Like OSU, they have opportunity. I mean, they're 11-1 right now. They're playing number 9 ranked Baylor on this upcoming Saturday. I think that'll be a good game too. I mean, they've already beaten Baylor, but one thing that I know is it's hard to beat a team once. It's even harder to beat them twice. And so I'm looking forward to seeing this game. But right now, it's tough. It's going to be a tough one. Now, if OSU wins and Alabama loses on this Saturday, you think they sneak in there, or you think since they lost to a number 1 team that they stay in the Final Four?
I mean, I don't see how you can put OSU in. They're a 2-loss team at this point, right?
Yeah.
You know, so like
same thing with Ohio State, same thing.
Yeah, there's got to be another 2-loss, and then you're going back and looking at them. Now, to me, my Final Four, it's that 4th team that I think we're all going to be worried about because it looks like Cincinnati's going to be in. Right?
Well, I want them to,
and I didn't think they were going to be able to make. I thought the college football people would keep them out.
Well, if they were, then they would have kept them at 5, and they would have just hung out there on the flagpole at 5. But they moved them to 4 because they were the team that you were pretty sure before last week's game, Michigan, Ohio State, that Cincy was going to run the table because of the strength of schedule. So, honestly, is anybody mad if it plays out that Cincinnati and Michigan play and Georgia plays Oklahoma State and then it's Michigan, Georgia in the final? Like, if it plays out this way, I'm good with it. That's the best case scenario. I think Michigan wants Cincinnati in that playoff game.
Yeah, I do. I would. That's the matchup I would want because, honestly, there's still questions if they should even be there because of their strength of schedule. Yes, they had one big win this season, but you know, Michigan has played a much tougher schedule. They went to Penn State and won on the road. They beat Ohio State when Ohio State was ranked number 2 in the country. So, yeah, I think that's the better matchup for Michigan for sure. But with that being said, you got to play the game, right?
You got to play.
You never know what's going to happen.
You have to play the game.
Hello.
But and I like it. Like they're putting it in. It's not even really putting it in the team's hands right now because they can still kind of pick and choose who they want in the Final Four. But I mean, they're playing a tough opponent right now. I mean, they have to play Houston, so this will probably be their second most important game. Big team they played or high ranked team they played this season, and I want to see it. Like, let's see if you are who we think you are. Right. I don't know. We don't know. We'll find out after this week.
Yeah, I just don't want Georgia as our first game for Michigan.
Right.
Like that's
no. You want Georgia to win, beat Alabama, and then plays out, and it looks like it will move up to Cincinnati up to 3-2-3, and I like it. Neil brought up a point yesterday: the road less traveled. Sometimes, and I think this is the road less traveled. I'd rather play Cincinnati in that game instead of Alabama or Georgia. So
I like that too.
It doesn't matter though. You know what? Because you know who likes it the most. Guardian Alarm. They get it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Residential, commercial, it does not matter. Guardian Alarm is state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe 24/7 hours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yes, Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control your lights and temperatures, detect smoke, and that evil silent killer carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. So, if you want to be a part of the Woodward Sports family and Guardian Alarm, you can give them a call today. 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
One more time, Fish.
Thirsty Thursday, Fish. I need it big this time for everybody in the very back. That's 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Get out of the fish bowl. What's that Twitter account?
Fish Kiwi.
At Fish Kiwi. Check in on them anyways. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Guardian Alarm's been trusted for over 90 years of keeping your family and businesses safe. Give Jason a call today. Woodward Sports Network. We're going to wrap this thing up. Stick, Joint Bell, D-Mac. We'll be right back. Big D. Big D.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it. Spin. Spin. Uh-oh. Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin. Spin. Spin till you bleed.
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back. Sawyer's got that big D energy today.
Somebody, that might have been he pushed the block out to the wrong side. He made a misstep to the right, but then recovered and did the diving block.
We are live. We're live now. Just go. Just go with it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Stick. This is Big D Energy. That is Darren McCarty, Joik Bell, Mr. Fish, and of course Sawyer. Last night had a nice little double header. I was able to sit on my couch and watch a good 4 or 5 hours of basketball, all pertaining around the state of Michigan. It started with the Michigan-North Carolina, or Michigan-North Carolina was the second game. It started with Louisville and Michigan State. Michigan State took care of business last night. They looked damn good.
They looked dominant. I didn't get to watch the game. It was on at LCA, so actually as Danielle and I were doing different things, walking around because she's a Sparty, so we were watching it. But that game was in hand. It was sort of the tale of two teams. MSU took care of business and Michigan didn't. So what did you take away from both those games? It's early on, ACC challenge. Yep. You know, I like the fact that they're playing North Carolinas and the Dukes and the Louisvilles, and they get the games in now to see where they're at. It benefits them in the long run, the old Izzo plan.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the Izzo way. Take your lumps early in the season, learn how to win, and learn how to handle those pressure situations. I thought Michigan State played pretty damn close to perfect last night. They looked strong, they looked physical, they looked athletic, and I mean, they were just dunking all over them at one point. It was a close game throughout the first half, but in the second half they just blew the doors off. But then it was kind of flipped the script for the North Carolina-Michigan game, because Michigan, through pretty much the first quarter of the game, They were dominating. They were winning that game, but then it just got completely out of hand, and North Carolina absolutely destroyed them in the second half.
It did. I mean, and that's what happened when you have those type of teams. You had that kind of that depth with the North Carolina. But that's a powerhouse. That's like, that's one of the usual suspects as we call it. Them, Duke. Kansas, Kentucky.
Blue Bloods.
Yeah,
the Blue Bloods. So is it one of these things? Because I like to see them early on to say, oh, okay. It's sort of like watching Ohio State at the beginning of the year in football. When they lost to Oregon, that sort of changed the narrative of, are these guys they're beatable this year, or there's something there. It's not the fact. Does this I like it because it's okay. They're going to be there. They're going to be there. Because in the past, recently Duke has had its ups and downs and different things, not your regular one. What do you take, because you're a Michigan basketball fan and stuff like this, what do you take out of a loss like that?
It's not even about this game. This is about, like, how do we finish? Like, okay, what do we learn from this game? I look at this game and say, okay, like, we stuck around the first half. Is it conditioning? Is it not being able to finish? Is it getting down? Is it intimidation? At no point in time did I feel we were intimidated, but, just a powerhouse right now.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed last night is, because Michigan had such a magical year last year, right? And then Dickinson comes back, you got Brooks coming back, and you think that you can capture that lightning in a bottle, just continue it from last season. I'm not seeing the same type of team camaraderie that I saw out of Michigan last year. Like, there was a point, I believe Brooks got knocked on the floor, and the only person that ran over to pick him up was Coach Howard. And you want your bench over there picking them up. You want the entire team over there picking it up. So that's one thing that I noticed yesterday during the Michigan game that could be part of why they're not as dominant as they were last year, like we talked about with the football team, sticking together and bossing up when somebody picks on your teammate. I wanted to see more of that out of Michigan, and you could see Juwan Howard looking around like, where the hell are the rest of my guys to pick up Brooks? Like, that needs to happen.
Yeah, and I think that happens organically. I think that happens organically. I don't think that's something that we sit down with the team and say, listen, of course he'll address it. Meetings the next day, watching film, I'm bringing that up because I'm big on that. Somebody goes to the ground, as a teammate, make sure you're there to pick him up. If you're too tired to run down the court to go pick him up, you've been selfish.
Right.
You've been selfish. You're worrying about yourself. Get down there, pick him up, and if you're tired, you need a break, come out, we'll get you back in the game. But I'm huge on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've never played at the level you guys played at, obviously, but I've been a part of championship teams. Yeah, of course, Joy, of course. But I've been a part of championship teams in Little League, and I've been a part of undefeated teams in high school and stuff like that.
Softball leagues, bowling leagues.
But that's honestly, amazing, Stick, because you're a better skater than I am.
Yeah, no. But honestly, like, anytime, even at that level, even at, like, Little League, when your team gets along, you go to movies together, you have pizza parties together, you're a better team. And I've been a part of teams that I've gone winless at that level that we went to practice, did our thing, and went home. So even at that level, that's not even close to that level.
It is.
But it's such an important aspect to team.
100 million %. You couldn't nail it any better. And I think that's where I was fortunate, is growing up in Leamington with the teams that we had. We played baseball, soccer, or baseball and hockey together and stuff. So it was your same guys. And we did all that together, and then road trips, and you learn to become a good teammate and better one. So speaking of that, being a great teammate, a lot of people around here know the name Tom Killer Kowalski.
Yes.
And he was the beat writer for the Lions, just a great guy in the media, and he passed away a bunch of years ago. But tonight at Keego Harbor at the Lodge between 6 and 10 a.m. is the annual the media members Christmas get together for the fans and everything, guest celebrity bartenders.
Yep.
I know I'll be there between 8 and 9.
Like, everybody's going to be there. I saw the list of celebrity bartenders.
I got Tommy Hearns and TJ Lang and all the buddy, and it's a great time to be able to remember, and I think it's important, community and outside of ourselves with everything that's going on. So if anybody's around the Keego Harbor area, stop into the Lodge, and we'll see you tonight.
Yeah, I knew Killer a little bit. I didn't know him well. I worked in the iHeartRadio building while he was there, and it was a weird time because a friend of mine who Javon Hollywood had passed away in that building, and then a month later Killer had passed away. So it was a weird time in that building, but everybody speaks so highly of defensive killer and just what he meant to the sports community, what he meant to the Lions, and how he treated everybody. He was a gentle giant, and I'm glad that they're still doing things to carry on his name and to carry on his legacy. And when I saw that lineup of who's celebrity bartending tonight, I was like, oh my goodness, they got everybody up in here. Everybody. So I'm going to stop by the lodge tonight, too.
Absolutely.
Uh-oh, Joik. Behind you, Joik. Behind you, Joik.
I would encourage.
There he is. There he is.
Shout out to
what up, Devin Gardner walking through the building. DG walking right in here, saying what up, walking out the door. What up, big time? Yeah, chilling, relax. All right, he got to go. He got to go. All right, gang. I guess that's a great way to end the show.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for watching the Woodward Sports Network.
Daniella Bruce for joining us, and everybody have a good day. Deuces.
But before we leave, don't forget, starting on the 13th, we have our second annual Stuff of Studio. It's going on right here in Birmingham, so make sure if you're out shopping for a new toy or you're out shopping this holiday season, pick up a new toy, drop it by. If you want to donate stuff to Detroit Dog Rescue, we're giving them blankets and collars and all that stuff, too.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing. Joik, you were here last year for the first ever Stuff of Studio.
Man, it was crazy.
It was chaos.
It was crazy. And then I'm going to tell you one last thing before we let you guys go. Take 5 seconds. No, 3 seconds. And just go click that like button for us. Go click that like button for us before you head up out of here. Appreciate
and
you guys
what you're going to do,
in.
you're going to give them a Ballin' with Bell.
Ballin' with Bell.
Little bonus content.
Hit the bonus content.
Love
right
bonus
now.
content.
Deuces. See you tomorrow. Terry Foster's in.
It's that time of the year again. Time for our second annual Stuff of Studio with Woodward Sports. Last year, Metro Detroit came together to help make the largest single toy donation in Mott Children's Hospital history. This year, we make it even bigger. Stuff of Studio is happening December 13th through the 17th at the Woodward Sports Studios in Birmingham. The children in Mott Children's Hospital fight so hard all year. Now it's up to all of us to help bring a smile to their faces. So while you're out holiday shopping, make sure you pick up an extra toy or two and help us spread some love to Metro Detroit this season. We look forward to seeing you December 13th through the 17th as we stuff our studio with Woodward Sports and Myre.
Woodward Sports Network, let's go! Ho, 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 ho.